I am your host, Luke, and you are watching Cheap Shot Entertainment. We are going to take you through everything that happened in the inaugural show of NXT UK. It was on the WWE Network, and if you don't have a subscription for that, get yourself one. It's $9.99 a month, and the first month is free, which means you get NXT UK, you get NXT, you get the Mae Young Classic semi-finals, and the Evolution pay-per-view coming up at the end of the month. Like I say, we're going to take you through everything that happened in NXT UK, my replica belt made completely at home, DIY, with cardboard, which I'm quite proud of. It's also the Prediction League title, if you watch the prediction videos on the channel. So yeah, we're going to take you through. It's a cracking show. It's pre-recorded. It took place in Cambridge, and I think it was throughout the summer as well when they had the inaugural shows. So yeah, we're going to move on to the first match. So the first match on the inaugural show, on the very first show of NXT UK at the Corn Exchange in Cambridge, was the high-flying Mark Andrews from Wales, featured in the Cruiserweight Classic and the UK Championship. Well, no, it wasn't in the Cruiserweight Classic, it was in the UK Championship, the first UK Championship. And he's been on and off in WWE ever since in NXT. Versus Joe Coffey, a staple in the UK wrestling scene. Joe Coffey, along with his brother Mark Coffey. That's Coffey, in case you was going to spell that wrong. But yeah, he comes down to the ring with his brother, two big guys, and obviously a numbers advantage here. And with the announcement of the NXT UK Tag Team Championships, there's also going to be a Women's Champion as well, crowned very soon. We've got a couple of tag teams that are going to be vying for those tag team titles, and I think the Coffey brothers from Glasgow, Scotland, are going to be in contention for those titles, along with Moustache Mountain and a few others. So Coffey shows his strength in the initial exchange in this match and throws Mark Andrews around with a little bit of his strength, completely in control early doors, using his size advantage. Mark Andrews then comes back using his speed advantage. So we've got strength versus speed, a good combination for a good match. Hard chops by Joe Coffey and a running shoulder tackle to boot, and Mark Andrews is pretty much down and out at this point. There is a butterfly suplex straight afterwards, beautiful looking move, hit absolutely fantastically, and an airplane spin and a distraction by Mark Coffey is then enough for Joe Coffey to hit the attack from behind as Mark Andrews rolls out of the ring after the airplane spin. Andrews hits some strong quick strikes after this exchange, quick palm strikes, and then enziguri, some standing corkscrew moonsault, pop-up power slam by Joe Coffey gives him back the advantage. Near fall, first near fall of the match. The Stun Dog Millionaire by Mark Andrews and a moonsault to the outside. Andrews attempts to finish Mark Coffey in this instance after rolling him back in the ring. Another distraction by Mark Coffey again leads Joe Coffey to get the advantage. A belly-to-belly suplex and a discus lariat, a sick-looking discus lariat for the win. Mark Andrews is out. 1, 2, 3, your winner in the first ever match of NXT UK is Joe Coffey. After the match, they attack Mark Andrews, Joe Coffey, Mark Coffey attack Mark Andrews after the match. Flash Morgan Webster in to make the save. Oh, Flash Morgan Webster to make the save, and it looks like we're going to get a tag team match later down the line in NXT UK. But the first match goes to Joe Coffey. In the next segment, we have Mustache Mountain making their way to the ring to a rapturous applause and lots of chanting and all that kind of stuff, because it's Mustache Mountain coming down to the ring to do a segment. I thought they were going to be in a match. They weren't. They were just announcing the NXT UK Tag Team Championships were going to be unveiled very soon, and they were putting their mustaches in the hat, so to speak, to get that title shot and be the very first NXT UK Tag Team Champions. And wouldn't that be a story? You've got Tyler Bate, the first ever UK champion and the first ever tag team champion in the UK WWE. That would be a nice little thing to put on his CV, wouldn't it, as a wrestler? Especially at 21, 22 years old, the guy is just fantastic, a little powerhouse, and he is tiny because I have met him before. Picture up on the background here, and he is tiny. He came to Hope Wrestling, but he's an absolutely sound guy, dead chilled out. If you ever get a chance to meet him and talk to him, do. Really, really nice guy as well. So yeah, that segment was a bit of a throwaway, but we got to see Mustache Mountain even though they didn't really do anything. But it's Mustache Mountain. And the next match in NXT UK on the first ever show features Sid Scala, and he is being thrown to the wolves, so to speak, thrown to the hounds. Dave Mastiff is his challenger, and there's, I think Dave Mastiff probably weighs twice of what Sid Scala weighs, and basically this was a squash match. Sid Scala tries to get the jump on Dave Mastiff. Mastiff just stands there laughing at him, as he would. Big guy, another guy from the Black Country in the West Midlands as well. Standing, stalling, vertical suplex by Dave Mastiff. In fact, he doesn't even hit the suplex, he just dumps Sid Scala face first into the mat. Sid Scala is in the corner at this point, trying to get away from Dave Mastiff, who is absolutely slaughtering him. Double overhand Mongolian chop from Dave Mastiff. Elbow strikes to the side of the head. Dave Mastiff is absolutely, he's just not letting up on Sid Scala at all. Didn't even give him time to breathe. A drop kick by Dave Mastiff. As you can tell at this point, Sid Scala did not get much of an offense in. A German release suplex by Dave Mastiff, followed by what you would expect a cruiserweight to do, a cannonball in the corner, 350 pounds, hitting you in the face, butt first. Yeah, that's Dave Mastiff for you. Anyway, there's a... Yeah, so that's it. He cannonballs him, and that's it. Sid Scala, get the spatula out. He is done. He is squashed into the mat. Dave Mastiff is your winner. Spatula required. And as we've already mentioned, the UK division will also have tag team championships as well as a women's championship. Speaking of the ladies of NXT UK, we have a ladies match next. It's a women's match. It is Nina Samuels, who we've not seen in NXT or WWE before. I certainly haven't. I watch NXT every single week, and she wasn't in the Mae Young Classic either. I think she might have been a standby maybe, but she's going against Toni Storm. The crowd is well behind Toni Storm. I like Toni Storm. She's hot and she is a very, very good wrestler and a staple on the UK scene as well. So you can expect that Toni will be there or thereabouts when challenging for the new Women's Championship in NXT UK. But it is in fact Toni time. There's lots of headlocks. Referee is Chris Sharp. Hi Chris Sharp. also a staple in Hope Wrestling whenever he's over here in the UK. There's a slap fest. Storm goes face first into the buckle at this point as Nina Samuels reverses her strikes in the corner. Samuels is on top at this point. Storm comes back with and drops Samuels with a drop kick, neck breaker, and the win for Toni Storm with the Storm Zero. So again, another short match, good match, but very short. I think the Mustache Mountain segment was a lot longer, which is a shame. But there you go. There's plenty of time for the main event, which features the UK champion Pete Dunn. And your final match of the evening features the UK champion, the WWE UK champion. So I don't know if they're planning on changing the belt to the NXT UK championship. No idea. I hope they don't, because I love this title, as painstakingly recreated in cardboard, as you can see, which I've already mentioned, but look how nice it is. Anyway, and he's going against Pete Dunne, the UK champion. He's held that title now for about a year and a bit. So he's been a fighting champion as well. He's had triple threat matches. He's had matches with Ricochet on NXT. He's fought Tyler Bate a couple of times, and he's been an absolute fighting champion. And he's definitely getting on for the longest reigning WWE champion ever, let alone UK champion. But with the invention of NXT UK, you'd expect the belt to move around a little bit more. Although I absolutely adore Pete Dunne, he is absolutely fantastic, and so is Noam Dar. Now the crowd is split with this one. We've seen Noam Dar in NXT and on the, I think he was in the crew. No, wasn't. Was he? Yeah, he was in the Cruiserweight Classic, I believe. The first one. They haven't done another one since, which is a shame. And also on 205 Live, a very much a face of 205 Live until he got his injury. He's now been out for a full year. He's got his knee braces on and things like that, and he's got a target on his injured knee. But we start the match with a lock-up. Dar using his quickness. Pete Dunne then shows his hard-hitting nature with a clothesline. Lots of joint manipulation from Pete Dunne. It's an absolute pleasure to watch this guy do what he does in the ring. Dar counters a backflip, taking out the ankle, and continues the punishment on the injured ankle at this point. Lots must have been scouted. These two have probably gone at it before in different promotions before the explosion of the UK wrestling scene. Dunn comes back. There's lots of punishment outside the ring as well. There's some wrestling outside the ring. Dunn comes back with an enziguri and a powerbomb and a near fall. First near fall of the match. Back and forth. There's a Northern Lights suplex, a release. Northern Lights release suplex by Noam Dar, and a near fall for Noam Dar. Dunn spine first after a release fisherman's suplex by Dar, and this is happening on the outside of the ring, the apron of the ring, the hardest part of the ring setup. It looks painful, so Dar is very much on top at this point, having done that move on the apron to Pete Dunne. Both then answer the 10 count, the referee's 10 count, by getting back in the ring at the same time. Dunn goes then for a triangle choke, which is reversed into an ankle lock. Lots of really free-flowing wrestling here. Blows traded by both, and they are both down in a Rocky type situation. The referee is counting, the crowd is hot, and Dar chops down the champion once again. Dunn hits the forearm, and the bitter end is reversed into a knee bar, and this is where it starts getting interesting. Dunn is very close to tapping here, but he manages to get to that bottom rope, and so at this point Dunn finally manages to hit the bitter end. The move that has won him the championship and kept it around his waist ever since he did beat Tyler Bate for the championship. Pete Dunne wins. Absolutely epic match, as you can expect from NXT UK and Noam Dar and Pete Dunne. Brilliant, absolutely fantastic, and a great way to finish the first ever NXT UK show. And so that is your 1, 2 and 3 of the NXT UK first ever show on the WWE network. It is airing on Wednesdays, same night as NXT and 205 and the Mae Young Classic. So Wednesdays on WWE Network are absolutely brilliant. So plenty to watch there and plenty to keep you entertained. Absolutely fantastic show, like I've mentioned. And if you like this show and you want us to continue doing the NXT UK division rundowns, leave a comment down below, like the video, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. And you can also follow us on Rockstar as well. You can join our little group on Rockstar Online, which is called the Dunkley Street Crew. So do all that, and we will be playing Red Dead Redemption 2 as well very soon. But yeah, this has been NXT UK. You've been watching Cheap Shot Entertainment. I have been your host, Luke, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.